Guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to talk all about under eyes today. Those lovely little thin-skinned under eyes that age the quickest tend to get drier, at least for me. I am 43 years old and my under eyes are the biggest issue on my face right now. Just making sure that they stay hydrated, depuffed, brightened, and as flawless as can be. And that's what I'm here today to show you how to achieve. A portion of this video is in partnership with City Beauty. I'm going to be talking about a couple of their under eye products as we go along, and wanted to tell you about their site-wide Cyber Monday sale that is happening right now until November 27th. And it is 40% off every product at City Beauty. I have talked about City Beauty before. I love their firming serum. I love their sculpting cream. Their City lips are excellent. Their mascara is great. It's a company that is comprised of skincare, a couple of makeup products, really just focusing on well aging, good ingredients. And again, I have a couple of products that I have been absolutely loving that I'm going to be talking about, but it is 40% off. Take advantage. If you've never tried City Beauty and you want to, or if you have some products that you love, this is definitely a time to stock up. I'm definitely going to be repurchasing a couple of these products during this sale as well. There is no specific code that you need to use. The discount will automatically apply to your cart. I will have everything linked below for you. And again, no code, but if you do use my link, I will get credit for the sale. So I appreciate that. But these are basically all the steps that I take if I want as flawless of an under eye as I can get for myself, and that is humanly possible. I understand I'm not walking around with a filter on my face. I just want my under eyes to look as good as they can. And these are the steps and products that I use to achieve that. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so fresh-faced, just woke up, washed my face. Had a huge visitor a couple of days ago, so I have a little pimple patch on. But if there is ever a day that my under eyes need some loving, it is today. I don't do all these steps every day. The first couple of steps I do mainly when I know maybe I'm going somewhere, I have an event, I have the time, and then there's some that I do every day. This first one is more of an event, have the time. I don't often get to do it in the mornings during the week when school is in session, unless I just get up and can't fall back asleep. But it is a very quick little 3-minute treatment, so I should have the time. And it is my Current Body Eye Perfector Mask. This is the red light therapy mask specifically for the skin around your eyes. Again, it's only a 3-minute treatment versus the 10-minute treatment of the full face mask. And it does what red light does for everything. It helps with fine lines and wrinkles. It helps soothe. It helps redness. Helps give some TLC to that eye area. So I don't know why I pulled a clip back there because I have to put this on. But it basically, look at this. This is why my husband laughs at me all the time. It's gonna be a fast 3 minutes. I'm gonna turn it on, let it do its thing, and I'll be right back. 3 minutes goes by very, very fast. Now, this next step I do as often as I can. Again, during the week, it doesn't happen as much, but typically on the weekends, especially if I'm not working, I will make sure I have some time to do under eye patches. And the ones that I am loving right now are from Dermatology. They're the brightening eye masks. Come like this. There's 60 masks in here, so it's 30 treatments. And this does pretty much everything you want an eye mask to do. It helps to brighten. It helps to depuff a little bit. It helps to soften the fine lines and wrinkles, which is why I really like to do these in the morning, because it does have that instant effect of kind of plumping everything up. Not all eye masks are created equal, and a lot of them will just slide down my face, and I feel like I have to lay down, and even then they kind of slide off my face this way. I don't find that with these at all. I'm almost done with this actual container, and I also have a backup. But you can see I don't have many pairs left. There is a good amount of serum on them, so you feel like they're actually doing what they say they're doing, but it doesn't have so much that it slides off your face. Before I put these on, I like to do some kind of hydrating essence, because right now my face is completely clean. I don't have anything on when I do the eye mask. So I'm just gonna use my Dr. Circul Kombucha Tea Essence and kind of pat that on my face. and up under my eyes. This is just because at this point I'm feeling kind of tight and dehydrated. So while I am letting the eye mask sink under my eyes, I'm giving my face something to drink up as well. Eye patches do come with a little spatula to help separate them from each other. And, you know, people wear these differently. I've seen people that will wear the big part right here up under their eye. I like doing it like this. I like the main area of concern to be this right here, kind of like the crow's feet area. So I want the most real estate over there. So you can see right here, like some serum that's coming out of the eye mask, but you can also see they're not going anywhere. So I leave these on, I mean, depending on time. If it's a Saturday morning and I get up super early, I'll lay in bed for 30 minutes and just let these do their goodness. Today, I'll probably leave them on for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then we will come back and finish out the steps to get my best under eye. Okay, I've had these on for about 20 minutes, so I'm going to easily remove them, and I can honestly just run my hand over my under eye and feel how soft it is. And I do feel like in the viewfinder, it's a little bit brighter. Now, let's be real. I have very dark under eyes. Nothing is going to brighten them to the point of not having dark under eyes, okay? Except concealer. But it is, in my opinion, brighter than when I first started this whole routine. So I'm going to do a couple of skincare steps, and then we're going to talk about the stars of the show, which is the eye cream and eye product that I'm going to be using. So I'm at the step right before my moisturizer, which is when I apply my eye cream. And I have been using this under eye recovery from City Beauty for probably a little over a month now. So it comes like this. You open it and it does have a pump in it. Now this is an actual eye treatment, and it has a few ingredients as to why this treatment is so good for the under eyes. It does have a peptide complex in it, which is what actually contributes to the brighter look, helping with the darkness that happens under the eyes, and in turn gives a more well-rested look. It also has a light scattering, shadow deflecting complex, which is exactly what you want. If you have under eyes like me and need brightness, you need that luminosity, but you don't want it to look shimmery. You just want it to reflect that light, which gives the appearance of brighter, more youthful under eye. It also gives the appearance of smoother under eyes, which is definitely something that I need, especially on this eye, which I'll talk about in just a minute. There's also brown algae extract, which is actually a seaweed extract that helps with not only the darkness, but also giving a firmer appearance and helping depuff. So again, I really like this applicator because it is a pump. I have more control and I really only need like half of a pump. It's very lightweight, and I'm just going to tap that all around the eye. Use my ring finger because that's the weakest finger and I don't want to pull any skin in this area. This also has micro-encapsulated hyaluronic acid, so it's going to help with hydration as well for anyone that suffers with dry under eyes, which is definitely me this time of year. The coldness, the heat in the car, the heat in the house, and then that blast of cold you get when you walk outside, it does no good for my under eyes, and the dryness really is exacerbated this time of year. So I definitely need hydrating products. Now I'm gonna go in with my moisturizer, my SPF, and we're gonna talk about an absolute game changer. I mentioned this in one of my previous videos a couple of weeks ago, and this for the under eyes is a must. Okay, so I have my moisturizer and my SPF done. I am technically done with my skincare routine, and this is the point where I use the City Beauty Line Blurring Wrinkle Filler. This is not specifically for under eyes. You can use this anywhere on your face where you feel like you have lines that you might want to have filled in. Maybe if you have some 11s or some fine lines starting to creep up around the mouth, or, you know, some smile lines that you want filled in. My main concern with line filling is under my eyes, especially under this eye. I have a scar that basically fully healed up, but once it healed up, it created a deeper crease under this eye. And usually when I get like Botox in my crow's feet, it tends to kind of smooth that out for at least probably 6 weeks to 2 months. But once that Botox starts metabolizing out of my system, that line really starts to creep up again. And concealer will settle in it like nobody's business. And that's why one of the reasons I'm so picky about the concealers that I use. This product has basically kept that from happening. And it has been 3 months since I've had my Botox done. So this line has crept back in full force. But again, it's something you want to do at the very end of your skincare routine. And even if you wanted to save it to your makeup routine, I like to do it now because I do like to give it a little bit of time to settle before I go into makeup. So this has what's called a diamond powder in it, which instantly kind of soft focuses your under eyes or anywhere that you apply it with the use of light reflecting particles. And it really just does give this completely smooth surface wherever you apply this product. Basically, the peptides and the ceramides are helping your skin from within, and then the diamond powder is helping it from without by instantly blurring, smoothing, and filling in. So it comes in a package like this. So you pump down on this and product comes out of here. Depending on where you're applying the product is dependent on how much you want to pump out. I don't need a lot to get the effect that I want under the eyes. So I will not even do like a quarter pump. I take this, it's pretty thick, tap it in between, and then I will just lightly tap it right here under the eyes where I want the most filling. And it's almost cooling upon application, like you feel a little bit of cold, which is nice. And I don't know if it's gonna be noticeable. To me, the way I notice it the most is when I apply makeup, but it is, I can feel it almost suctioning my skin. It doesn't feel drying. Again, it has the moisturizing benefits as well. So you're going to get the plumpness from the hydration. But oh man, oh man, oh man. It's so good. And you know what? I've got it. So I'm going to take a little bit and put it just down. Again, you don't need much. It's going to last forever. And y'all, this is something I am personally purchasing for my kit during the Cyber Monday sale because of how well I'm not kidding when I say this product works so well. I'm sad that it took me so long to have it in my rotation. So I do like to let this kind of sink in for a little bit. So I'm going to go about, do some things, eat breakfast. I'll come back and I'll do makeup, which is also part of this video. And I'll have the full effects of that because it will have a chance to sink in, kind of settle down, and I won't be moving it around when I'm applying my concealer. Okay, now it's time for the makeup. And this isn't gonna be too different than what I typically do in my other routines, but if you're new to my channel and you haven't seen any of my other routines, then these are the steps that I do to cover my dark circles and ensure that they don't crease and crack and crinkle and cake and do all the nasty C words we don't want happening under our eyes. I, again, have very dark under eyes, so I do choose a corrector. My favorite one at the moment is actually marketed as a concealer, but because of the shade of it, which tends to have a slight peachy undertone, it works good to correct the darkness under my eyes. And that's the Clinique Airbrush Concealer, and this is in the shade Light Honey. And the shade, again, is what really matters in this instance. That and the fact that this is a very lightweight consistency. It does not sit heavy under the eyes, which means it is good for layering because I am going to be putting a concealer over the top of this. If this were any heavier, it would end up being too much product under the eye. So the formula and the color is what works so great for me. And I'm just going to put it in the inner corner where my darkness is the worst. And then I have been using my BK Beauty 113 brush, which is kind of like a little bit of a fluffier paddle brush, to basically just tap that in. And I do bring it over to this side of my eye, but I don't have as much darkness there. So I really, again, concentrate the bulk of it in that inner corner. And I'll put the brush on its side to make sure it really gets in there. And on maybe a day where I'm not wearing makeup, this is going to be enough. This is actually a concealer I really enjoy not setting, which I cannot say for the majority of my concealers. So if I wanted to put like a tinted SPF on, a little bit of this under the eyes, I'm good to go. I have a little bit more coverage. It's not full coverage, but I also don't need to worry about going in with a powder or anything like that. It's very fast, and definitely the one that I choose to use on those kind of no makeup days. In this case, I am going to be putting a concealer on top of it, but I need to put my foundation on first. I personally like to do the corrector first, then the foundation, then the concealer. There is no right or wrong way to do it, however you prefer. But I do need to add some foundation real quick, and then I will get into the concealing step. At this point, I'm actually wanting to conceal. I've tried my best to correct the darkness, get it as close to my skin tone as possible, and then go into conceal. Now this can be for a couple of reasons. I can want to add more coverage. I can want to brighten the under eye. I personally use it mostly for just adding more coverage. I don't like a super bright under eye. If it's like a shade lighter, that's fine. But I don't want it to be a stark contrast with my foundation. My very favorite concealer of all time has not changed. It's the Chantecaille Future Skin Gel Foundation. It's a foundation. I use it as a concealer as well, and I absolutely love how it works under the eye. I do have a video where I do most of these steps in it, and I will link to it if you want to see this used under the eye, but I thought to change it up a bit, I would use a new favorite, and it's one that I got from the Sephora sale, and it's the Haus Labs concealer. I really like this one. It is definitely a fuller coverage concealer. I am in the shade 21 light medium. And what I do with this concealer and pretty much every other concealer, I think the Chantecaille is a little bit different because it's so lightweight. I just tend to put it all over. But with this concealer, and especially any other high coverage one, I really just like to put it on that inner corner where I initially put the corrector, because that is where I need the most amount of coverage. And if I were even, putting it up here where a lot of people use it to like lift the eye, that's fine. But when I smile, I get crinkles out there, and I don't want any extra product that's going to have to like eventually settle into the fine lines. So I like to start it right here. I'm going to take a BK Beauty 109 brush and do the same thing I did with the corrector. Just tap it in, and then I will pull it up with any excess product from the inner corner. But this way I'm not putting a ton of product, but I'm still achieving the coverage that I want, which is going to result in less caking and creasing throughout the day. Just bumps up the coverage for me, exactly what I want. And I'm going to set it because, again, unless I'm doing the Clinique concealer with like a no makeup look, I always set my concealer. I set my concealer on all of my clients, no matter their age. The trick to me is finding the powder that's going to work to do this versus not setting it at all, because especially if you're doing an event or you are going to be out and about all day, that concealer, no matter how well your eyes are prepped, will end up creasing throughout the day. So to make that not happen and to extend the wear of the concealer, setting it to me is a must. And the Ilia Soft Focus Loose Setting Powder is one of my very favorites. I also like the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, specifically for the under eyes. I like the Pat McGrath Under Eye Setting Powder. But this is my second or third, I don't know. I just opened the one that I bought from the Sephora sale of the Ilia, and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to take a brush. This is just a Real Techniques eye brush, and I'm going to go underneath, make sure there's no creasing. And I can see this scar on this eye, but it is nicely filled in with that City Beauty product that I love so much. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of powder, tap it off, and then press it in to the under eye. I'm not going to sweep because I'm not trying to mess up all that hard work that I've already put under the eye. Just press it in, and a little goes a long way. This is a Wayne Goss number 2 brush. It really, the powder itself does not make my eyes look more dry or anything like that. It just does the job of setting the concealer so that it doesn't crease throughout the day. Makeup is finished, and I have full confidence that my under eyes are going to stay crease-free and as flawless as my personal under eyes can be all throughout the day. So hopefully this video was helpful. I know it's a lot of steps. Again, it A, doesn't take this long to do when I'm not talking through it, and B, it's not required to do every single day, but great for event prep, great for a day when you have time and just want to pamper yourself a little bit more. It's when your under eyes need a little pick-me-up. So I will have everything listed and linked per usual down below. Don't forget about the 40% off site-wide City Beauty. Thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.